Okay, so here's a couple of examples. Here's a couple of examples why the so-called black woman in particular is the least desired, the least dateable woman on the planet right now, especially the so-called American black woman. Now, the only men that will, if you can call them that will deal with her is the Pookie and the Ray Rays and the Big Stevies, these gutter trash men, all right, that been raised by the so-called black woman. They're the only, and I use the term very, very lightly, they're the only men that would deal with her. A man in his right mind and that values himself and that has a high standard about himself, he really wouldn't deal with these so-called black women. And again, I use the term women lightly. Okay? And here's a couple of reasons why. They are liars, they are contentious, and quarrelsome. Okay, and I have a scripture after we watch these couple of examples. I have a scripture to bring out. So without further ado, let's jump into it. By the way, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakak Wadash, for opening our eyes, especially us men, to this knowledge, this truth, and shalom to the Lord's elect, to the brothers and the sisters that are of the household of faith, the sisters that are honest and sincere. Because what you're about to see here, these couple of examples, the so-called black woman, the majority of them are not honest and sincere. And that's why they're going to be put to death. Because they're contentious, they're quarrelsome, they refuse to take accountability, they refuse to humble themselves, especially when it's to a so-called black man. These kind of women, they have no problem humbling themselves to the so-called white man because he's in power. But when it's a so-called black man, as is the case with this Kevin Samuels individual, there's a problem. Okay, and again, the smartest thing us so-called black men can do is stay away from these kind of women, and there's a majority of them. The average so-called, especially the so-called American black woman, the average so-called American black woman is just like these two examples you're about to look at. And if you want some kind of peace and sanity in your life, stay away from these so-called black women. Honestly, stay away from them. Okay? Anyway, let's jump into it.
French toast out of here. I don't know. Is it me or does that seem a bit insane?
Bit insane.
Do you have a criticism, or you have a critique or a criticism, Hallie? Hello?
I have a criticism.
Okay, what is it?
Yes, I have a criticism.
Okay, what is it?
Why do a woman has to be rated as a Beyonce or a Kelly to be accepted?
Who said they had to be rated as a Beyonce or a Kelly to be accepted?
I mean, that's what you've been stating.
No.
A 9 or a 10,
No. No. I have never said you have to be this to be accepted. I challenge you to bring any of that. I dare you. I challenge you to bring up where I said you have to be at this level to be accepted. Prove it.
Where you're always talking about a 9 or a 10.
Ma'am, like it or not.
So,
like it or not, there are levels and there's always rankings. I'm 52. How old are you?
And that's a solid point that he just made. There are levels, there are rankings. Okay, everybody's not on the same level. So that was solid a solid point he made, solid logic that he just said. And that's one thing you're going to learn, especially with these so-called black women. They're impervious to solid logic. Okay? They're totally emotional. And when you say, especially if you're a so-called black man, and you say something logical to them, they just won't accept it. Now, am I saying all of them? No. But the majority of them, they will not accept it.
I'm 25.
You're 25. Your hair ain't even 25.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as that woman started talking, right, and I was listening to this video, as soon as she started talking and she said she's 25, I said, this woman's a goddamn liar. 25. She does not have the voice of a 25-year-old woman. Okay? And then when you look at her, she's on screen, you definitely see she's not 25. Why would you just lie like that? What, to get attention? So let me get this straight. You want to get attention by lying? When you lie, right, you see, this is what I mean about these women not being, especially the so-called black women, not being logical. When you lie, right off the bat, you lose credibility when you lie. Nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody that's a serious-minded person like this Kevin Samuels, not going to take you seriously. You know, you're not cute when you lie. Okay? Right away, you lose credibility. And no one should take you seriously.
Your wig ain't even 25
Say that
years old.
again?
Your wig ain't even 25 years old.
My wig?
Yeah, your
This
wig,
is
your
not
wig.
a wig, honey.
This is
25.
not a wig.
This woman is a
This is not a wig, honey. Yeah, it's a weave wig. It's unbeweavable. Okay? Oh my goodness. Now can you imagine if that woman has children, especially a son, and she's raising him by herself? That's why the majority of so-called black men out here, like El Apostle Ricard calls them, they're straight up GMO babies. Because look who raised them. Women like that. Okay? Disingenuous, quarrelsome, contentious, lying, man. That's why this nation, especially with our women, needs an ethnic cleansing. The majority of these women, they're going to be done away with, man. That's going to be a thing of the past. And Yahweh Shemiah Shai is going to save the best of the worst. Okay, the women that we're going to get, they're not going to be anything like that, the first woman he's dealing with. And then it gets worse. As you continue to watch this video, the next woman is... Anyway, let's move on.
25. See, this is why you got folks in here coming out 25. That's why she's even laughing. 25. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay. 25 times 2.
Okay.
No. See, if we got...
And that would be more accurate. 25 times 2, which equals 50. That's around the age where she's at. Probably in the high 40s, going maybe even the early 50s. Maybe. But she damn sure ain't 25. So-called black woman. You steady out here losing, man. And more so-called black men are waking up to you so-called black women. Brothers that have sense. They're cutting through that thick haze of your bullshit, and they're starting to see clearly, like Johnny Nash. The song by Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. They're starting to see clearly now through your bullshit. Especially brothers that are in this truth. There's a warning to you so-called black women. All right, brothers like us that are in this truth, that are filled with the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shai, you better not even think of coming to us with your bullshit. Okay? Because this Kevin Samuels, he wasn't in the truth. He knew of the Israelite brothers, but he wasn't in the truth. All right? He's woken up to your bullshit. So how much more a man of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, rooted in this knowledge, this truth. Okay? So that's a warning to you women, especially you so-called black women, which a brother that's in his right mind, he wouldn't think of dealing with y'all anyway. Okay? Again, you're seeing why the so-called black woman is the least dateable woman on the, and those are facts. All right? I can go to Google and type in who are the least dateable woman on the planet Earth. And let's see what it says. Least dateable. Who are the least dateable women? Let's see. Let's see what it says. Look at that. This is from YouTube. Black women are the least desirable or dateable women in the USA. That was one source, right? This is from An Injustice, another source. Source number 2. Black women voted most undesirable women to date. What a mistake. Yeah, black women deserve to be loved too. No, they don't. Especially if they have the attitude like that first woman Kevin Samuel is dealing with. Lying right off the bat, just lying. He asked her a direct question, how old are you? I'm 25 years old. Come on, man. She saw 25 years ago. That's why he said 25 times 2. Okay? This is from Quora. According to dating sites data, the least desirable groups were Asian men and black women. That's the third source. Take a bow, so-called black woman. They don't want. Nobody wants to really deal with you, and with good reason. Single black women are undesirable is a popular narrative, but statistics say otherwise. Yeah, okay. There's always some, some source that tries to give them hope. Again, WEAA. New data suggests black women most undesirable women to date. A YouTube video, part 1, why black women are least likely to marry outside their race. So pretty much you get the idea. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Okay.
No. See, if we're not going to be honest, we don't even need to have a conversation. I'm trying to just understand.
Exactly. As soon as she answered that question of how old she was and showed her dishonesty, showed how disingenuous she is, it could only get worse from there. You're not dealing with a person that's honest. And that's the majority of so-called black women. That's why they should be avoided like a plague, man.
Your frame of reference. But if you're going to sit there and lie, there ain't even no point.
This bobblehead is just ridiculous. And did you notice who it is? That's right, none other than the man.
But if you're going to sit there and lie, there ain't even no point. 25. Y'all remember Saul? Do you have a problem with women? She's sitting up here in a Barco lounger, She sit up here in the Barco Lounger with
That's her with the hat on the bottom there.
her feet soaking, talking
Talking about she 25.
about she 25. With Big Sav on her knees and Tiger Balm on her elbows. I'm 25. Somebody get me another pack of Newports in a pickle. 25. Fuck out.
Hey. He said, fuck out of. Hey, so-called black men are not putting up with your bullshit anymore, so-called black woman. They're waking up to you. You're done, man. You're finished. Okay? The best you can do is come clean, especially when you come into a man of the Lord. Now, he always talks about a high-value man, Kevin Samuels. Well, the highest value man is a man of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the highest value man there is, period. And you're not going to come at us with your bullshit. Okay, we're going to see right through it and put you right in your place immediately. Absolutely. You know, the smartest thing we can do is just avoid you altogether. If you're crossing on one side of the street and we're crossing, if you're walking, not crossing, if you're walking on one side of the street and we're walking on the same side of the street, we will cross and go into the other side of the street just to avoid you. And no, we're not going to gawk at you. We're not going to look at you. We're not going to stare you down. Talking about you so-called black women, because you're a plague. Now, are there few sisters out there that do the right thing? Absolutely. And kudos to you sisters that are trying to do the right thing. You know, you're trying to change your ways, so to speak, as it is written. When we come into this knowledge of truth, we put on the new man. That goes for you women as well. Matter of fact, let's bring out that scripture. Because all of us, we're coming out of hell, you know, we're coming out of a very low position. And that's what this knowledge does. This knowledge elevates you to the highest position, you know, because we've been on the bottom. Colossians, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse. It says this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, this applies to you women as well, you so-called black women, especially the disdain that you have for your man, the so-called black man, the hatred that you have for the so-called black man. And that goes back to the curses. Okay, Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 56th verse. It says, Colossians, the 3rd chapter, the 8th verse, but now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another. And again, this woman, she started off by lying. I mean, the man asked this woman, the man, Kevin Samuels, asked this woman a straight up question, you know, how old are you? And she's going to lie. Why would you lie? Well, that's not cute. That destroys your credibility. After that, no one would take anything you say as being serious. Okay? That was not a good move, man. That was stupid. And most of you so-called black women, you are stupid. Okay? I think, you know, you think that you know, that you're incredibly smart and wise. No, you're stupid. That's why you don't have a man. Okay? And you're going to see the importance of having a real man in your life when all hell breaks loose. You're going to see just how stupid you are. You bought into this lie of feminism and all that crap. Well, good luck to you with that when all hell breaks loose. When this society breaks down, when the cities are in trouble. All right? That's where we're heading. Anyway, Colossians 3:9, lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds. And that applies also to you women. You're supposed to put off the old woman. Now that you have a chance to be born again and get with a real man, a man that's rooted in this knowledge, this truth, you better put away all that lying. You better put away all that disingenuous bullshit that you're used to doing, of which you'll see a couple of examples, which you're watching the first example now, and then you're going to see the next example. She's even worse, okay? So-called black men are not putting up with that shit anymore. Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, see that? Which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. There you go. So that applies to you women as well. You got to put on the new woman, rooted in humility, you know, honesty, sincerity, and stop being so contentious and quarrelsome. Okay? Because that ain't going to get you nowhere. Let's move on.
Fuck out of here, man. And the point is, women don't like the fact that we have introduced that they have to rank. They rank us every day. Your height,
Sure
your
do.
income, your profession,
Sure
your
do.
looks, your ability to provide everything
That
else.
is-
Men know their.
That is so true, man. What he just said. They rank us every day. Absolutely. Especially the so-called black woman. She loves doing that. And now that the tables are turned, now that we have see, the so-called black man, he's not supposed to have a standard. Especially the so-called black man. Because the so-called black woman, the average so-called black woman, she doesn't respect the so-called black man anyway. You know, she looks down on him because, you know, right now we're on the bottom of this society. But what you don't realize, so-called black woman, is we're heading to the top. Okay? We're heading to the top. That's where we're going. Okay? So you better get with the program. Like the song says, get with the program. You better get with the program, man. Okay? And, you know, you better get wise. Because that's where we're heading. We're heading to the top. Yeah, phone at the chime on that one. We're heading to the top through this knowledge, this truth. Okay?
Introduced that they have to rank. They rank us every day. Your height, your income.
And you're going to have to learn to get up to our standards. Okay? That's what you're going to have to learn, so-called black woman. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to come to our standards. All right? And I'm talking about real so-called black men that know this knowledge, this truth, which are Hebrew Israelites, beginning with the tribe of Judah all the way down to the tribe of Issachar. Okay? 144,000 men, okay, that are going to be the new rulers of this planet Earth after Esau is taken down, that are going to rule with Yahushua, like it says in the book of Revelation. When the Apostle John saw in the vision, he saw Yahushua with 144,000 men. There you go.
Income, your profession, your looks, your ability to provide everything else. Men know there's ranks. And women don't like rankings.
Yeah, there's ranks. Even in the scriptures. Let me show you that. Every man in his probably won't come up. I have a feeling it won't. Oh, I can't believe it came up. It is right here. 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. Like the man just said, there's rankings. There's ranking systems. 1 Corinthians 15 and 23. But every man in his own order. See that? Yahushua, the first fruits. By the way, the first fruits is another title for the elect. Another title for the government ruling body that will rule along with Yahushua in righteousness. 2 Peter 3 and 10. This planet Earth will be ruled in righteousness after the wicked is taken down. Who is the wicked? Esau, Edom. Okay? Well, we're going to rule, man. Us men are going to rule this planet Earth, beginning with the tribe of Judah, right underneath Yahushua. Us men are going to rule the planet Earth in righteousness. So you women, man, you better get with the frickin' program. Okay? As you can see, even in the secular world, so-called black men are waking up to your bullshit, and they're not taking it anymore. You're on trial, so-called black woman, and if you don't measure up, you're getting left behind. All right? 1 Corinthians 15 and 23. But every man in his own order. So there's a ranking system. There'll always be a ranking system. Yahushua, the first fruits, afterward they that are Yahushua's at his coming. There you go. There you go. Let's read that in the NLT. But there is an order to this resurrection, right? And there is a resurrection is happening right now. We are rising up. The word resurrection means to rise up. We are rising up through this knowledge, this truth. And the wicked elite of Esau can see it. And they're scared. They're terrified. Okay? They are terrified. All right? There's a new thing happening, man. As Hebrew Israelite men that are rooted in the 100% truth are rising up, man. You wait till Yahweh Shemel Shai give us that spiritual power. As it is written, in the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. That's the big game changer right there. When Yahweh Shemel Shai give us that spiritual power, the it's all over then. Okay, but there is an order to this resurrection. Yahweh Shai was raised as the first of the harvest, absolutely. Then all who belong to Yahweh Shai will be raised when he comes back. And he's talking about the 144,000 men. All right. Now, are some of you women going to be saved? Absolutely. The scriptures teach that. But the government body, man, the ruling structure is with the men. It begins with the men. Okay? And there's order. Let's get back to the video.
Women don't like rankings.
They don't.
25. Hello.
Especially if the rankings is set by the so-called black man. They really don't like it. They have no problem when the so-called white man sets up his ranking system. You know? And that's another thing that's going to be destroyed when we're raised up. That undying love that you have for the so-called white man, you so-called black woman, that undying love that you have for him, that's going to be a thing of the past. Especially when you see the state that he's going to be brought down to. Okay, as the scripture have said, he's going to be brought down to hell, man, which means destruction. And it's going to take Yahushua 1 hour to destroy his power. 1 hour. And he's going to be on the bottom, and he's going to look pathetic. All right? Let's see if you still desire him then. Because the majority of so-called black women, you have that undying secret love for the so-called white man. You do. But let's see if you still have that affection or that affinity for him when you see the state that he's going to be in, which is on the bottom. Let's move on.
How are you? Got to unmute yourself. I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Now this one is even worse, all right, with that shit locks on her head. That's another thing too, man. You so-called black woman, get rid of the shit locks on your head. All right, wear your hair natural, okay? Wear your hair natural. Learn to wash it and comb it and take care of it. Well, a lot of you are bald anyway. You're as bald as Kojak. And that goes back to the curse that the Heavenly Father put on you because of your attitude. It is an old saying, your attitude determines your latitude. Isaiah the 3rd chapter, the 16th verse. If you ever wonder why the so-called black woman is bald, well, you're about to find, those of you that are new to this, you're about to find out the reason why. Isaiah the 3rd chapter, 16th verse. Look at the subheading. Judah's women denounced. Now, Judah's women start with the so-called black woman, all right, of the tribe of Judah. So, as we read on, it says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. And you're about to see that example, all right? Haughty means what? Proud. And proud in a negative way, not in a positive way, in a negative way, a combative way, a contentious way. All right. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Let's look at that word, haughty. Define it. Okay. The daughters of Zion starts with the so-called black woman. All right. Haughty.
Haughty.
Arrogantly superior and disdainful. You see that? That describes the majority of these so-called black women out here. They are arrogant and disdainful. Okay? Look at this. Look at the synonyms. Proud, vain, arrogant, conceited, snobbish. Tell me that ain't them. Go ahead and tell me that's not them. So the scriptures, look at a haughty definition from the Merriam-Webster. Proud, arrogant, haughty, lordly, insolent. Insolent means rude. I know that for a fact. Overbearing. There you go. Disdainful mean showing scorn for inferiors. And they look at this, and the average so-called black woman, she looks at the so-called black man as being inferior. Okay? And there's a reason why, because we're on the bottom, because of the curses. But what you don't realize is there's a group of so-called black men that are being taken to the top through this knowledge, through this truth. See? And there you go. So going back to the scripture, because the daughters of Zion, talking about you so-called black women in particular, all right, are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks. There you go. They have an attitude. She get the neck to rolling. All right. And wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, this is the reason why she's bald. Like I said, she's as bald as Kojak. If you don't know who Kojak is, if you don't know who Kojak is just, I should have put this on do not disturb. Just Google Kojak. All right. The actor who played Kojak, his name is Telly Savalas. And he's definitely a Jake. He's of Greek, so-called Greek extraction. Okay. Anyway, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, meaning take away her hair, because as it is written, the woman's glory is her hair. The Apostle Paul said that. A woman's glory is her hair. So because of your nasty attitude, you so-called black woman, the Heavenly Father took your hair. It's a damn shame. You got so-called black men that can grow their hair longer than you. That's a damn shame, man. As the Apostle Paul said again, he said it's shameful for a man to have long hair, but it's a glory to a woman, okay? Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Now, in case you didn't understand that, it wasn't plain enough for you, let's jump down to the 24th verse. Still the same subject, Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And I don't have to explain that, dealing with you women. You know, a lot of you women, you especially you so-called black women, your smell is repulsive, utterly sickening. And I don't know why the hell a man would want to deal with something like that. I mean, that alone should be a put-off. Okay? But you got your Pookies and your Ray Rays out there. Okay? And they'll deal with anything. And that's why guys like that, they gotta be again, there has to be an ethnic cleansing of this nation. They got to be eviscerated. They got to be done away with. These Pookies and these Ray Rays. And they were raised by you. You so-called black women. You created the Pookie and the Ray Rays. All right? That's a result of you with that feminist attitude. I can do bad by myself. I don't need no man, blah, 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 blah. Single-handedly, you've destroyed the so-called black family. Single-handedly. Okay, and those are facts. Anyway, Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle or rent, meaning out of shape. A girdle back then a woman would wear. I remember back in the late 70s they had commercials for a Playtex girdle, 24-hour girdle, 18-hour girdle. A girdle was worn by women to give them that shape, that hourglass figure. Okay, and that was disingenuous. All right, for a woman to wear a girdle and she'd have this hourglass figure, and she'd take off the girdle, flesh all over the place. Because you women are undisciplined, man. You know, you're eating, it's 24 hours in a day, you're eating 26 hours a day. You know, you keep eating, and you're eating the wrong, you just, man, that's what, hey. Anyway, let me just keep reading. And instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness. There you go. How you get around that? Well set hair, meaning you're supposed to have nice long hair. That's your glory, woman. Tells you that in 1 Corinthians. The glory of a woman is her hair. So what happened to your glory? That's what you need to, you women that's always teaching the scriptures, you think you're a Bible authority. That's what you need to ask yourself. Why is my hair so short? All right. And if you happen to be blessed with long hair, then ask yourself, why are the majority of black women, why are they cursed with baldness? Why are they lining up to get these wigs and these weaves? Why? There you go. There's your answer right there. And instead of well set hair, baldness. Okay? And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And the majority of so-called black women, you know, if Thank goodness for makeup or fake up. Let's call it what it is, fake up. All right. And honestly, a real man would want a woman whose face is doused with makeup. Because when we get up in the morning, we want to see the real you. Okay, a lot of these women, you don't want to see the real them when they get up in the morning. You'll run out the house, man, screaming. A lot of these women, they spend 2 hours, maybe 3, in the mirror trying to get that look. You know, all painted, looking like a rodeo clown. Yeah, Howard Shy can't come quick enough. Let's get back to the video.
I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Kevin.
Hi, how are you? What's the criticism?
So it's not really like a big criticism, but I will say one thing that I haven't heard you really touch on, and I know that when you started, you were addressing the men. But when we talk about high value, I don't really think high value really equals salary, because I have
okay.
dated.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you think. Wait.
Well,
this was. I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't matter what you.
She said she has dated. To quote the words of what's his name, Tom Likas. All right, dating equals porking. So when you hear a woman say "I have dated," meaning she's fucked. That's the PC way of saying she's been loose. I have dated. All right, I have dated. And you hear these women talk like that, they really should be ashamed. There was a time when it was found out if a woman was loose, that was like a black mark on her. That was a shameful thing. You know, the Bible speaks about a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. It was a shame for a woman to be passed around like she was like they say, like she was a joint, a joint. You know, a marijuana cigarette. For those of you who don't know what a joint is. Okay?
But when we talk about high value, I don't really think high value really equals salary, because I have dated.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
Well, this was
I'm tell you why it doesn't matter what you think. Men decide who high value. No. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Because we decide what high value is as men, not you.
Now, from that moment, you know, Kevin took all the wind out of her sails. So from that moment, now she's gonna, you know, she's emotional now. All right, how dare he talk to me like that? See, if it was a so-called white man that would have said that to her, she wouldn't have had nothing to say. But again, there's that hatred that this so-called black woman has for the so-called black man. Okay, she doesn't look at him as being her superior. Those are facts. And you so-called black men, you know it. But a lot of you are simps because you've been raised by this so-called black woman. All right? You actually believe that she's better than you. You better wake up, man.
You get to pick from who we decide are the best.
There you go. Well. See? Oh, shit, he put me in my place. Now what? Now she's trying to think, what can I come back at him with? What can I come back at him with to regain my superior position over him? I'm telling you here now, man, so-called black women like you, you're not going to make it. Especially with the man, a man of the Lord. Especially a man of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You're not going to make it. All right? You better ditch that attitude quick. Okay? Because we're going to see right through you. And we're going to leave you where we find you. Okay? You're not going to make it, man. All right?
I will say this. As far as giving advice to people, I believe...
See, she had to think about how can I come back at him. And instead of just humbling herself and accepting what he said is true and then just listening, now she's thinking of how can I come back at him to belittle him. Show him that I'm superior. All right? And she fails at that. Watch.
That there's more that a man should offer than just salary to
Well,
a
where have I
woman.
ever said high value is just salary?
I know that you've never explicitly said it, but
No, I've not explicitly said it because I've not said it.
But every time we talk about high value, we talk about salary instead of what else can a man
People in the
bring.
audience, this is another disingenuous critic. Look on the screen, please. I want to look at the.
That was good. This disingenuous critic. More like a disingenuous cretin. Look up the word cretin. Look at her. Look at her. You see that? Look at her. What does it say again? Isaiah. Let's go back to Isaiah. Remember Isaiah? Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. What does it say there? Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks. Look at that stretched forth neck. That's a come on, man. That's a stretched forth neck right there. Stretched forth neck with that shit locks on her head. You know, you women are lazy, man. Why don't you just comb your hair, man? All right, comb your hair. Wash your hair. Wash it first and then comb it. All right. No, she got that shit locks on her head. Probably smell like hell. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Where's that well-said hair that a woman is supposed to have? Where's that well-said hair? Where? All right? That's not attractive. Okay? Look at it. That's shit locks. That's not attractive. All right? But again, the Pookie and the Ray Rays, they put wind in these women's sails. Okay? Women like this. Degenerates like this. Okay? With a huge body count. Let's move on, man.
Fucking points I've often said high value is man making $10,000 a month or more, $120,000 annually. Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. Number 2, earn that money for 3 to 5 years. Number 3, high value.
You listening, bitch?
And recognize him as a peer or a potential peer. 4, he has a network of high value men and others. 5, he is visibility. It's kind of like LinkedIn level. And 6, he has utility. He's useful to others and the group. That's how you attain high value status, and how you maintain it is through dime, discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. Where in the French toast does that ever just say salary?
Well,
where does that ever just say salary? Before you move on, don't well me. Don't well me.
I'm not moving on. I'm trying to actually continue expressing.
But where does that just say salary? Where did that just say salary?
No, bitch. Just answer the question. He asked you a straightforward question. Where does it say salary? All right? Or only say salary. And you're going to see her dodge around the question. All right? Refuse to answer the question.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to you is that most of the people that come on here...
No, I can't be responsible for what most of the...
And then she has that... look at her. Then she has that condescending attitude. Condescending attitude. I had a scripture here. I think it was in Proverbs. Yeah, here we go. Proverbs 21:19. It says, "It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman." Let me read that one more time. Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. What does the NLT say? It's better to live alone in the desert. It is better to live alone than with a quarrelsome, complaining wife. And the word wife just means woman. There's your example right there. Again, you so-called black woman, you stay losing, man. You stay losing.
Can't be responsible for what most of the people... How about, Kevin? I was wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm saying...
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, why won't she say that? Because she doesn't feel, and Kevin Samuels, at that time, he was in his pinnacle. All right? She doesn't feel, no matter how high the so-called black man gets, the average so-called black woman doesn't feel he deserves respect. See, that's going to change. That's going to change with this knowledge, this truth. That's going to change. You so-called black women, you're going to learn respect. When you come before us, you're going to bow. Okay, you're going to bow. You're going to have your freaking head down. And you're going to learn respect. Okay? Because contrary to popular belief, we're your Lord. And you're going to find that out. All right? That's in the book of 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter. We are your Lord. Sarah called Abraham Lord. Sarah is the mother of you so-called black woman. And she called Abraham Lord. So once again, you are going to call us Lord. And you're going to bow before us. Guaranteed. Okay? And the men that get, the so-called men, these effeminate, sissy, girlified men that have a problem with that, they're not going to be around anyway. They're going to be done away with. Okay? The real men are going to be left. Real men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, manly men. Okay? So, there's a big change coming, man. And there's going to be an ethnic cleansing of this nation. Absolutely. Of you men and you women. Okay?
What people think, not what you say.
No, so
See,
hold
they
on.
can't do it. They can't do it. They can't. She can't do it. Ma'am, I have just put up.
She can do it for the so-called white man. Okay? But when it comes to the so-called black man, she has a problem. Because she does not see him as being superior. She does not see him as getting respect. And a lot of you so-called black men, you're okay with that. That's why you got to be eliminated. You got to be eviscerated. You got to be exterminated. You got to be eliminated. Okay? Sissified, girlified men like you. Okay? You always got an excuse for the so-called black woman. And she looks down on you. She looks at you like a pile of dog shit. But you don't have a problem with that. You got to be exterminated, man. Okay? Guaranteed.
All of the principles in bullet points pulled up from presentations I've had over a year, disproving your point, and you refuse to say, you know what, Kevin? You do say it's more than just salary. Now you want to move the goalposts.
Let me say something to you.
No, before you move the goalposts, I want to stick right here. You said it's more than salary.
And that's, do you see the attitude Kevin Samuel has? Kevin Samuel, a little excited. The attitude that Kevin Samuels has. You see the attitude he has? That's the attitude we're supposed to develop to these women. We show them, look, you're not better than me. Matter of fact, I'm better than you. You're in the Bible, you're known as the weaker vessel. All right? You watch how you address me. You watch how you talk to me. Okay? I'm the star of the show. I'm the prize, not you. That's how we got to be to these women, man. Us men, we got to take back up. Let me get Isaiah 46:8. And you're going to have certain guys, which they're not men anyway. They were raised by single so-called black women. So there you go. They're going to have a problem with what's being said because you're not men. You look like a man, but your mindset is that of a woman because you've been raised by a woman, a psychotic single black woman. Okay? That's why you have the mindset that you have. If a real man raised you, and I'm talking about a real man raised you, you would agree with what I'm saying. You would be clapping right about now. Okay? That's why you got to be eliminated. So that the real men can be brought forth. Isaiah 46:8, it says, remember this and show yourselves men. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O you transgressors. To be a man of the Lord, you got to be a man first. And that's how a real man thinks. You see what Kevin Samuels is doing? He's demonstrating how a real man would act, especially with these women. Put them in their place. When they get out of order, you put them in their place. Okay? Quick. You don't play with them. All right? And you don't give a shit if they like it or not. They'll learn to like it.
Did I just not describe many more things other than
But
salary?
did you let me
Did I just say
explain
more?
to you
Did
what
I
is
just say many? Did I say?
A contentious woman, a contentious and quarrelsome woman. What does the Bible say? It's better to dwell in the desert than deal with a contentious, quarrelsome woman. I mean, time and time again, it's been proven that if women don't know how to lead. Okay? You women are not, you're not the leaders. The men are the leaders. You're supposed to be the followers. And you can't even be a good follower. You want to lead, you so-called black woman, you want to lead. Where have you led? Look at the state of the so-called black family. Where have you led? Single-handedly, you've destroyed. Look, of woman came the beginning of sin. Let's read that. It's not your place to lead. Okay. Here we go. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So much for you leading. All right? That wasn't your position. Your position is not to lead. Your position is to follow. As it is written in Genesis, and her desire shall be to her husband, and he will rule over her. Let's go to that. Genesis 3 and 16. And it's going to go back to that. Genesis 3 and 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire, here's the point, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Rule over thee. There you go. How you get around that? Let's get back to the video.
Did I just say many? Did I say many more things other than salary?
But can I explain?
Did I say many more things other than salary?
But what you're
Did I say many more things?
All she had to say is yes. Yes, you did. Another example of a disingenuous. The first one, when she was asked how old are you, she said 25. Line a fat, nasty black ass off. And then the second one, there you go. Again, this is why you so-called black women are the least dateable woman on the planet Earth, especially you so-called American black woman. You stay losing, man. If you continue with this attitude, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose all the time. And more men are waking up to your bullshit. Okay, we're in a different time now. You're not cute anymore. Okay?
Other than salary. You're not going to get past that point. You're not going to move the goalpost. You're not going to move the goalpost. You'll sit there muted until you answer my...
That's right. That's right. Oh, look at that. She got that proud look with that shit locks on her head. That's right. That's right. We're going to hold you to a standard. You're going to come our way. It's our way or the highway, woman. It's our way or the highway. Okay? Guaranteed.
See, this is what I'm not going to do. We're not going to overtalk. We're not going to play this game. Did I say more things than salary? Hold up a one for you.
That's why they had to get rid of that guy. I think they silenced Kevin Samuels, man. I think they silenced him because they had to get rid of him because he was setting a new standard. But even if he's gone, you know, so what? The standard is going to continue. It's, you know, Yahweh Shemi Shai is raising up the real men. All right, the men of truth. Those are the highest value male there is. The men of truth, the men that have this knowledge is truth. And we're not gonna be simps. We're not gonna tolerate your bullshit. We're not gonna tolerate no disingenuous, loudmouth, quarrelsome so-called black woman. It's not gonna happen. Those days are over. They're over. Okay? You better come correct or get lost. This is very simple. You come correct or you get lost. All right? You wait when all hell breaks loose. Oh, you wait.
Yes, I did. Hold up for two for no, I didn't. Oh, one for yes, you said more than salary. Two that no, you didn't. See? Shame, insults.
This woman is proud, man. Look at that. You know why she's so proud? Because the Pookie and Ray Rays, they put the wind in her sails. Man, you so-called black woman, you're getting ready to be humbled big time, man. You're getting ready to be humbled big time.
And the need to be right.
I don't need
Execute Order 66.
This is the need to be right. It has been shown on screen in front of 17,000 people. And 17,000 people, and she refuses. How do you have a good faith conversation with somebody who disputes observable facts?
Can you imagine being in a relationship with that one on the bottom there? That one in the red? Again, this is why you black women, you so-called black women, are the least dateable women on the planet Earth. This is why.
Ma'am, I don't know what you want from me. We can have the conversation, but you're going to at least acknowledge the fact that I've not just said I value a salary. What she was going to try to do is say, well, I know I said that, but what I want to make is, well, people, what they hear, I can't be responsible for that. And instead of answering the question, you know what she does? Just like most women, I'm going to look down at my phone. I'm not going to pay attention because I cannot admit that I was wrong. I cannot admit I was wrong. I just can't admit I was wrong.
Especially to a so-called, me being a so-called black woman, especially to a so-called black man, I can't admit that I was wrong. I can't admit that he's better than me. I can't admit that he's superior and that in reality I'm really inferior. Well, the day is coming, so-called black woman, you're going to have to admit to it. You're going to have to admit that you are the weaker vessel and that you're not superior in comparison to us. You're inferior. And we're the leaders, not you. You're the followers. We're the leaders, especially the man of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? So with that, end the video. I'll see you in the next one.